Well, my last review seemed to go down well. Even though it was awfully made, I think that I got good reception. Well, my voice was just way too quiet, the music was way too loud, and overall it wasn't that good of a review. You can tell how much fun he must have had recording his lines into his rubbish microphone, and then just going all out on the character. So I think I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to do it well. And what better episode to start than Power Red, which was actually one of the first episodes I ever watched. Yeah, I haven't really been watching the show for that long. I remember Tom Scar uploaded a video forever ago now which mentioned EddsWorld. I was curious, so I went onto the channel, and there it was, Power Red, being uploaded 6 months ago. I watched it, and I loved it. So, let's take an in-depth look. In this episode, after a freak accident on his roof, Ed gets superpowers, which he uses, well, just for messing around really. But after he finds out that EddsWorld also has superpowers, it's a battle to the death with a giant monster destroying the city. I'm honestly more surprised that they didn't really go into all that superhero parody stuff that you'd expect. Yeah, I know, EddsWorld has never been a thing for parody, but it was around this time that the Avengers and Marvel and all that stuff was actually going on, and it feels like they should have capitalised on it a little bit more, rather than just a quick gag at the end of the episode with Nick Fury. Overall, I think it's a pretty good episode. It's got some pretty good comedy, and I like the premise of superheroes. I'm actually quite a superhero fan, to be honest. Mostly Batman, but Batman's awesome. When you look back over some of the older episodes, actually, you can actually tell that Ed was quite a fan of superheroes. Even back to the first episode, Ed again, or second episode, where he draws a superhero picture, which actually makes quite an interesting comeback in this episode. One thing I have to address is the animation. It looks better than it's ever looked in this one. Every time I watch it, I am just amazed by the effort that went into that opening scene in particular, and it carries out pretty much throughout the entire episode. It's got some pretty good action sequences, and the colours as well are really well thought out, especially for this type of superhero movie. I was never entirely a fan of that weird curved lip thing, but yeah, what can you do? The music as well is very superhero-esque. It really gives off an Avengers feel, if you know what I'm talking about. Something about the instrumentals and that big epic feel of it really just makes it feel like a proper superhero episode. They really went all out on that part. And of course, how can I not mention the comedy in this one? The jokes are just so fast-paced and all over the place, and it really reminds me of some of Tom Scar's sketches.
Tom, did you see the monster?
Nope.
It was awesome! It was all like, "Rawr! I'm a monster!"
There's the monster! Get him!
Ah!
On that note, where did that monster come from? What, EddsWorld punches Tom and then he falls and becomes a monster? Or it just comes out of nowhere and eats him? Was it the radioactivity? Was it some old episode I don't know about? It just comes out of nowhere. I mean, it creates conflict, but I have no idea where that thing comes from. So overall, solid episode. It's got some great jokes, got some great animation, got some great superhero stuff, and overall, I'd call it a really good episode.